Not as her family. No, those are not the people who are going to have their houses burned down, have their businesses destroyed. It's going to be people like me and you, whether you're white, black, whatever. It's going to be the regular working class people who have to pick up this mess when martial law is declared permanently because of protesters like this. Vigilante weighs in here with a very simple question. Why is the group most concerned with this concept of white privilege themselves, mostly privileged white people? It's a weird phenomenon. I want to get into a lot of different situations I found over the past week and past few weeks of these privileged Caucasian children who are themselves at the forefront of a lot of these violent protests. Let's get into the infamous Commander Red. Antifa Commander Red. Antifa commander with flamethrower burst into tears during arrest, the cops say. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this. I saw Tim Pool report this a few days ago, maybe last week. Antifa leader named Commander Red, or Matthew Banter, that's his government name. He was busted carrying a flamethrower to a Wisconsin Black Lives Matter rally and dropped into the fetal position and began crying when he was stopped by police. Now, I know that makes you laugh. It's hilarious. Look how creepy this guy is. He's a school shooter archetype, right? This demon had already been charged with biting, kicking, and pointing a gun at officers only a few weeks before. This is of August 4th. This is August 4th, where he was charged with recklessly endangering, use of a dangerous weapon, which is ironically one of the charges that Kyle Rittenhouse has. Of course, it's second degree because he's only pointing his gun at a cop. He also had charges of battery for biting and kicking officers, and he was released on $10,000 bond just for a few weeks later for him to get a flamethrower and try to go to a Black Lives Matter rally. And he also had military-grade smoke grenade and firework rockets, in case you were wondering. So he was allowed to point a gun at cops, bite cops, kick cops. He gets out on $10,000 bond. He comes back with a flamethrower. He gets out on $2,500 bond. The bond charges get less for this privileged Caucasian Matthew Banter. And I am not, this is not an anti-white channel. This is not anti-black channel. One of the main goals of this channel is to de-escalate the race war, de-escalate the civil war, de-escalate the world war. I'm a We Are the World, lover of all people. So when I'm critical of the Caucasians in this article and in this video, because most of the people I'm criticizing are Caucasian, it is not from any negative place towards Caucasians in general. It is just an assessment that what these kids are actually doing is a wide scale version of what happened in Tulsa. But basically in Tulsa, black businesses in the 1920s, it was in the early 1920s, of a lot of black businesses, a black Wall Street, so to speak, being burnt down for success. Instead, we have these type of people, these Commander Reds, who have no idea what they're doing. They're allowed to do whatever they want. This guy was able to bite cops, kick cops, point a gun at cops, and then get out and then get a flamethrower and just make bond. And I'm being honest. Do you think I could have done that as a black man? Highly doubt it. And if you're wondering, and I have to preface this with maybe a rumor qualification, maybe alleged, but allegedly his mom works for the school system in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We constantly see links to academia with these violent extremists, and yes, not reported by any major news network. I had to do my own independent research. I had to look at someone's obituary and match it up, and because of that, because I could be wrong, I don't want to reveal that information and reveal the woman's name, but do your own research. More than likely, he's the same Matthew Banter who is linked to this Oshkosh, Wisconsin teacher, the special needs teacher. I'm not going to say her name, but I'll let you do the research and judge for yourself. So I have this kid who's linked to his mom in academia. He's able to bite cops, get out on bond. Nothing happened. But he's not the most privileged. But this guy, this is not the pinnacle of privilege. Oh no. When we talk about privilege, we have to talk about Miss Clara Kraebber, a student that was charged during a riot during a BLM protest. Clara Kraebber, a student at Rice University, is one of the BLM protesters who's facing felony riot charges and misdemeanor graffiti charges, causing $100,000 in damage, allegedly, on September 4th in the Flatiron District in New York. Now, I'm not sure if anyone follows Louis Rossman. He does actually Repair Channel, but he's based in New York, and he shows how expensive it is to live in New York, how expensive rent is in New York. You have this woman, this young woman, this 20-year-old whose dad works at Columbia University, works in the psychiatry department, more links to academia. Mom is Virginia Kendrick, an architect who works at Kendrick Artworks. You know what I mean? These are rich people. This is a rich young woman who potentially caused $100,000 in damage. Her family has a $1.8 million apartment in the Upper East Side and another home with 4 fireplaces in Connecticut. But she's burning down. She's destroying. I don't know if she burnt anything down. That's alleged. Allegedly causing damage. $100,000 of damage. And hopefully she gets the 4 years. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but she could face up to 4 years in prison. I hope she serves every bit of that. Who the fuck is she to be as rich as she is and help worsen the lives of the people who are still in New York by causing damage? Who the fuck is she? She doesn't deserve that, right? Clara Kraebber. Fuck her. Who the fuck allows these rich motherfuckers to just do whatever the fuck they want? But it's for it's for racial justice, right? Bullshit. Let's go to Portland. Time to get to Portland. 100+ days of riots. 100+ days of protests. And John Malkovich's son is one of those protesters. This guy is the son of a famous actor. He's a programmer, a junior developer at a company, a job that I was unable to get. I've learned to code, as they say, and I've submitted my resume to tons of places. I've gotten interviews. I'm unable to get in as a junior developer myself. But Mr. Lloyd Malkovich, he's this privileged. Doesn't matter. He needs to riot and protest outside of Portland, which, by the way, is the whitest major city. There's no American city over 500,000 in population with a higher percentage of non-Hispanic Caucasians than Portland. But they need to protest racial justice. John Malkovich's son has to speak up for us poor Negroes of color. Thank goodness we have these rich Caucasians who don't know what they're doing to burn up shit, to break shit in our honor. Speaking of Portland, just in case you forgot, the new DA Mike Schmidt, he doesn't prosecute people in Portland. And apparently he's not the only DA who's soft towards these protesters, as I spoke about earlier with Commander Red, able to get out on bond. A bit of editor's note for Portland DA Mike Schmidt. Turns out he has a friend that has links to Antifa. I'm probably going to do a separate video about that. I didn't know that at the time of this recording, but I want to add that in here. Then you have this two-faced fucking mayor, Ted Wheeler. And I'm Trump agnostic, as I've said on this channel. I really need to make a video about Trump that's in the negative, which I'm sure will make the few subscribers I have happy, as I am conservative. This is from Ted Wheeler's open letter. President Trump, yet again, you offered to aid Portland by sending in federal law enforcement to our city. On behalf of the city of Portland, no thanks. Okay. But he's moving. To escape riots. Ted Wheeler is moving. He's telling you no thanks. No thanks for federal law enforcement to help this city. But he's getting the fuck out of Dodge. And then I'll put on my headphones for this. He's this open letter about, he doesn't need help. He don't need help. Bring out the headphones. Look what he has to say.
To what degree we can do something specifically to hold accountable repeat offenders, but I'd like to see that too. It doesn't sit well by me that the police make an arrest, somebody's processed in the jails, they're not held, and they're right back out on the streets. So there's more we can do.
Are you saying that's a bad thing? Are you saying that you shouldn't just arrest people and let them out? Wow. Innovative mayoral tactics by Ted Wheeler. He wants police to be able to do their job. Wow. But it doesn't matter. He's moving. He gets to move away. He gets to tell Trump off and then move. And then have the nerve, after I already said about the DA who doesn't prosecute, say, we need to do something about these repeat offenders. No Sherlock. We're still in Portland. Got some more for Portland. Miss Natalie Van Norman, the Van Norman sisters. And I really want to show this. This is me, because this whole situation makes me She's sad. The little rioter's sad. The rich rioter from Redondo, California. Oh no. They're hurting her. She's bleeding. Why won't you help? Who is this? She's from Redondo Beach, California. Her and her sister. She was put into an ambulance and jumped out. This Natalie Van Norman. Olivia is her sister. Let's actually, do I got the mugshots? Gotta show you the mugshots. I do have the mugshots. So, first off, while I'm at the mugshots, what do you notice about these people fighting for racial justice? Again, whitest major city in America. Even though I think this brother's probably Latin, and this is obviously a sister. But here's this is the sister of, this is Olivia Van Norman right here. Doesn't she look lovely? Doesn't she look lovely? And this is her sister. Oh, oh. I want to get into these Van Norman sisters. Not in that way. Well, potentially it's been a long lockdown, but I digress. This is her from Redondo Beach, California. This is her Facebook. I want to show you something interesting. One of her favorite movies is The Blind Side, and I don't think there's anything more indicative of what we have here with these wealthy Caucasian liberals than the movie The Blind Side. It's a movie that, if you actually ask Michael Orr himself, he'll tell you it wasn't accurate.
I am different than the character in The Blind Side because I think I have a little bit more personality. I probably carry myself a little bit better than the guy in the movie.
Drive up here to Oxford and I will cut off your penis.
She means it.
But it shows these benevolent Caucasians saving this poor Negro from his Negro life, right? It was a lot more nuanced than what was in this movie. And they didn't save him out of the goodness of their hearts. They saved him because they wanted him to go to their college that they preferred. And that was addressed in the movie, but not quite with the way it was addressed in real life. It was a real issue. But I digress. This is their mentality. This is the lady that was crying, "Oh, I'm just trying to save the poor Negroes by going to a different city and burning it down." She's from Redondo Beach, California. You want to know some more about the demographics? I have it up here. This is the median income for America. This is the median income for Redondo Beach. And again, more about the demographics of Redondo Beach. Not a high percentage of black people. It doesn't matter. She's this rich, she's from this rich, mostly Caucasian area, and she needs to teach us about racial justice by fighting with police. And oh my God, they're attacking her. Look at her sister. Ah. Jeez, I'm so sick of these motherfuckers. They get to tear shit up, so get rid of some of these damn tabs. I want to get to something. I want to get to the net result, the end result of what happens. This is in Kenosha. This is what happens with all these people, the Commander Reds of the world, the Van Norman sisters of the world, John Malkovich's son, Lowry, or whatever his name is, Clara Kraebber, I already messed up her name, Clara Kraebber. Excuse me. This is what the Clara Kraebbers, the Commander Reds, this is what they do.
It's so sad to see this community that we go to. You know, we get our phone cards from here, man. We get our hot Cheetos and Takis.
It's a black and brown community.
We don't want to go all the way over to Walmart and Meijer, man. You know, look at this.
Look at this. Look what was breaking.
This is where they had their quinceañeras at, man. The essays, you know, this is where the essays be having their birthday parties at. This is where they sell a mattress at in the hood, man. And just to see all this desecrated, you know.
That speaks for itself. The source on that, sorry, quick edit. The brother's name is J.R. Pratchett. If you look up J.R. Pratchett Kenosha, you can see the whole video. But it's sad. This is a black and brown neighborhood that got burnt down in Kenosha. You would know that if you were from there, but you're not from there. These are out-of-towners who are causing all these riots. And then you keep saying they're burning down their own neighborhoods. No, they're not, motherfucker. This is why I don't fuck with partisans. Rich out-of-town kids who don't know what the fuck they're doing, they're burning out other people's neighborhoods. They're burning out poor neighborhoods, poor white neighborhoods, poor black neighborhoods, poor brown neighborhoods. They don't care. They don't care. They don't even know what they're mad about. The richest and the wealthiest are the ones, they're the children screaming how bad capitalism is. Go back to Miss Clara Kraebber. Look at this woman, 20 years old. Father works at Columbia University. Mother is an architect. Multiple homes in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in New York, homes in Connecticut. She's causing damage to the already destroyed New York infrastructure. Who do you think is getting impacted, huh? When you cause damage, it's not going to be people who look like Clara Kraebber. Or I'm gonna keep screwing up this woman's name. Screw her. It's not going to be people who look like Clara Kraebber. It's not going to be people with the same amount of people. And if they are the people who look like Clara Kraebber, they definitely won't have the same amount of bank account. Not as her family. No. Those are not the people who are going to have their houses burned down, have their businesses destroyed. It's going to be people like me and you, whether you're white, black, whatever. It's going to be the regular working class people who have to pick up this mess when martial law is declared permanently because of protesters like this. And again, why don't we have anyone prosecuting these people? The DA in Portland just lets it fly. Doesn't matter. And then, of course, Ted Wheeler, oh, we should do something about this. No, that's why we have a justice system. Commander Red can point a gun at cops. He can kick cops. He can bite cops. Still, he's allowed out so he can get to his flamethrower. And the biggest story, oh, he cried and was in a fetal position, but he got the fuck out. He's not in jail right now. I lost people in the system for way less. He can possess a flamethrower? It's fucked up. So this really wasn't even covering anything. It's just a rant. I just want to show who's really responsible for the racial injustices. I just want to show the people who are really responsible for this injustice because it pisses me off. You say you're against systemic racism. Motherfucker, you are the systemic racism. What's going on in this country, what's going on in this planet, it's difficult enough, but you have these idiots, these rich, wealthy idiots who have everything handed to them. Everything I couldn't get. I couldn't get a programming job, Mr. Malkovich, because my dad didn't work anywhere. My dad wasn't any special. I never saw my dad, bro. But your dad, he was able to pay for you to go to college. I couldn't even get to college. I had to teach myself coding, all to be told I'm not qualified. That may be the case. I may not be qualified enough to be a programmer, but you're able to have that job, and it doesn't matter to you. You need to destroy stuff. You need to riot because you're so angry about the racial injustice that you moved to one of the whitest major cities on the planet. You're so angry about racial injustice, Clara Kraebber, that you have to destroy stuff while you live in a lap of luxury. And these people won't serve a goddamn bit of jail time. See, the problem with Antifa, I've seen your true face, and the accumulated filth of all your sex and murder will foam up about your waist, and the whores and politicians will look up at us shouting, "Save us," and I will look down whispering, "No." I am tired tired of you demons basically doing what happened in Tulsa. You get to burn down our neighborhoods and our names, and we have to deal with the blame. BLM does not reflect on these mostly Caucasian, mostly wealthy people who run it. It reflects on everyday black Americans. We have to deal with the brunt of the damage that you cause, and you don't even have to account for it. You'll have people on Twitter defend you. You'll have the justice system defend you, right? I'm a black man who is trying to de-escalate the racial tensions in this country, and YouTube suppresses me. That's enough ranting for this video. I apologize. It's pretty disorganized. Pretty angry about this shit. I don't think it's right for these rich kids to be able to do whatever the hell they want. But let me know what you think of me. Love me or hate me. Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please like the video. If you feel so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And if you do none of these things, if you made it through this rant, I appreciate your watching and I appreciate your time. Thank you. God bless.